Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good morning, good morning. Actually, good afternoon because we're going live 12 p.m. Eastern time. A lot of people have been asking me, what am I doing? What is my plan to take full advantage of this crypto gaming mini bull market? And what is my big strategy? The strategy that is going to catapult me to hopefully, right? That's a goal that everybody has. Millions of dollars in the overall end of this crypto gaming bull cycle, hopefully in 2024 to 2025. Historically speaking, it's happened. We'll be touching base on this and more, on exactly my allocations on everything. As always, this is not financial advice. These are simply my opinions. And something awesome I actually wanted to talk about right before we get into the show. What's going on, Diego and Cole? How you guys doing? Is presenting That Crypto Gaming Show. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the name of our show is That Crypto Gaming Show. Every weekday, Monday to Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. So today is going to be crypto gaming news and trends. A little bit more of a hot take because we didn't do that yesterday. And so here's the schedule. So Mondays, we're going to be doing crypto gaming news / trends, depending on what's happening. Tuesday, we're going to be doing hot takes on the industry, and we're going to be featuring a crypto game. Wednesday, we're going to be doing more crypto gaming news and trends. Thursday, we're going to have a crypto gaming leader interview, which, by the way, this week's leader interview will be Bitbender Brink, which is Jason Brink, the president of blockchain at Gala Games. So do stay tuned for that one tomorrow. And then Friday, we're going to be doing crypto gaming news and trends. Ladies and gentlemen, That Crypto Gaming Show is currently the largest dedicated crypto gaming show in the space in terms of a dedicated creator in an individual creator space. So we've got crypto banter. We got That Crypto Gaming Show now. So I plan to highlight the best of crypto gaming. It's going to be super exciting. I love it. I love it. I wanted to also go ahead and thank you all for the support lately. I lost a subscriber there, but we are almost at 20,000 subscribers. So subscribe if you haven't already. We have been blowing up lately. It has been insane, the level of support. And to be honest, it motivates me to make a heck of a lot more content in the future. Your thoughts on the Sudden Token? We'll be talking about all of that juicy stuff. It is a time to be alive right now, because if we look at super cycles, and by the way, this is an old chart here on Bitcoin, et cetera, and how they thought, overbought was $140,000 back in the day. That was the potential price points that people were looking at. They said that the fair price of Bitcoin at the time was somewhere around the range of $32,000 to $107,000 back in the 2021 bull cycle. Right now, the all-time high of Bitcoin was $68,000. Nowadays, this thing has run up a heck of a lot, $38,000 Bitcoin. Seems like it's not stopping, might actually shock the world. The blockchain gaming market has done numbers in 2022. Look over here. The Asia Pacific estimated to hold the largest market share in 2022. The blockchain gaming market is expected to grow from $4.6 billion in 2022 to $65.7 billion by 2027. This was an actual old report. The blockchain gaming space right now has actually tripled in size since then, because if you actually go ahead and go to CoinMarketCap right now, you head to the gaming section, just click any gaming coin. Let's go ahead and look up Myriad for an example. Go all the way down, click gaming. It's going to show you a market cap that's a heck of a lot bigger than they went ahead and talked about before. $15.959 billion. That market cap, it's spiked quite a bit. It's not this little thing. So, I'm very bullish on crypto gaming. It's outperformed what most analysts say is going to happen. I would honestly be surprised if we were at a $65 billion market cap totalization in the entire crypto gaming bull market. I'm more of a bull. Maybe it's because I'm a maxi. Maybe it's because I cover crypto gaming all day. But I would see by 2027 easily over $100 to $300 billion, especially with how gaming is going and with how many people are actually playing video games. Once there is general adoption here, it's going to be huge. So with this being said, let's talk about my strategy here on how I'm going to be taking advantage of this and how I'm going to be turning what is $10,000 into hopefully $1 million this bull cycle. And I have this little spreadsheet that I went ahead and made. Obviously, I calculate nodes and a bunch of other stuff on it, so I'm very lazy with it. Bless me, because I'm terrible with my Google Sheets. But besides that point, here is the ultimate plan. I start off with tokens every single cycle. Whenever we get mini bull cycles, I am almost 100% allocated into tokens in terms of my crypto gaming portfolio. When I get profits, when I get 2 to 5x profits, I turn those tokens into nodes. Once I turn those tokens into nodes, then it secures my bags for the next 1 to 2 years. After that, anything that rolls over gets turned into NFTs. Now, I have to specify NFTs because NFTs need to generate some kind of return, and the NFTs also have to have some form of value add. So if we're talking about some random PFP NFT, I don't really care. But if we're talking about something like Army of Fortune, which recently had their whitelist, which the founders' keys went absolutely parabolic, and these are going to have some form of token airdrop, etc., these make a lot of sense. In fact, right now, I'm looking to size into these somewhere around the 0.4 to 0.5 range. If we get to that point, I will begin to take the risk of buying these founders keys because I think the risk to reward appetite is good for the actual token TG launch. But for the most part, this is the plan. On top of that, I am not putting 100% of my portfolio into crypto gaming. What I ended up doing before this bull cycle happened, I was DCAing 50-50. So I had 50% of my portfolio into very safe things like boomer stuff, like Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's it, right? 50% of my portfolio is these two coins right there. That's it. Nowadays, a little bit different. My portfolio has kind of mooned just a little bit. So it's looking a little bit more like 70-30 because of how crazy crypto gaming has gone. What I like to do is I allocate 50% of it into long-term layer 1 altcoins with my profits. I take 10% of that, turn it into fiat. So, US dollars, because we all have to pay rent and we have many other things we have to do. And then I roll over 40% of that into nodes, NFTs, or more tokens. Usually not the same token. I like to create moon bags. Moon bags secure you for the long term. So let's give an example portfolio here of 100%. You've got something like, I don't know, $10,000, right? What I would do is I would find 10 coins, very simple, and I would put 1,000 into each, just like I did my top 10 crypto gaming tokens video. Some people will say you're capping the amount of returns that you can get, but if we look at this top 10 crypto games portfolio, this is an example of had I put $1,000 into something, how it would be looking like a month into the future. Bitcoin has trended up 8% over the past month or so. And our portfolio, our sample portfolio here, has gone up 127%. So clearly, if you put 10,000 into this, it would already be worth somewhere around $22,000. Now, in terms of DCA capital, I don't think it matters much. If you're looking at these videos and you're looking into the potential for blockchain gaming to go up 10x, 20x, 50x, 100x, then realistically speaking, getting into something that might go down 50% from its current price doesn't really matter, because if it's still supposed to go up 10x, then you would have gotten a 5x return from the low. So it doesn't matter either way. You're still going to be performing pretty well. Obviously, if you put 10K into that and then it 5x's, that's $50,000. So that's not exactly the amount that you're looking for. And so how do we roll this over into a possible $1 million portfolio? And so the truth is, if you want to actually get into the super of degens, you need to take in more risk. And taking in more risk means buying things before they end up launching. There are many different opportunities there to do things like that. For example, one that's coming up that we talked about very recently was Inspect XYZ. It's having an IDO. It's backed, by Alex Becker being an official Inspect strategic advisor. It has adoption by people in the crypto gaming space like 𝐒𝐲. We've got Elio Trades. Ivan on Techie is even covering this, and a bunch of people that have a big reputation. I mean, Rookie XBT has a lot of reputation in terms of security in the space. So it's important to keep in mind that these are extremely high-risk bets, and the only way you're going to be able to remotely turn 10K into $1 million is by doing things that will either go to 100 or will go straight to 0. Most people will probably not make $1 million this bull cycle from $10,000. Most people will probably make somewhere around maybe $50,000 to $100,000 holding some of these crypto gaming altcoins. A lot of them are obviously subject to speculation and cycles, which is why it's important to take moon bags after something has run up a lot, because it gives you the opportunity to size into more tokens that are emerging. A good narrative is 𝐒𝐸DeFi, because 𝐒𝐸DeFi is a crypto gaming launchpad. We do have the hype cycle of bytes coming up, with 𝐒𝐞𝐳 possibly exploring that as well. So these two are great. I know DAOmaker has even done, crypto gaming plays as well. And these have gone up a lot. I mean, 10x returns, those are pretty standard for these crypto gaming launchpads. Obviously, the amount that you can put into them it differs. If you're only putting $1,000 into 𝐶, you're probably not really going to get anything in terms of allocation. So those are kind of impossible things to get into. But if you can find the alpha and you can find whitelist opportunities, I think this is going to become a lot more important, and it's something that not a lot of people are looking into right now. These whitelists, for the most part, people didn't think they were going to be worth, 0.66 ETH on this launch, but they ended up being worth that much. This shows that there is a clear interest in the crypto gaming space in terms of new token launches. Another good one is when, a Shrapnel, which by the way, Shrapnel is under a lot of heat lately because of the quote unquote lawsuit that's going on right now. This thing had a metric ton of FUD. It launched at 10 cents, went down to 7 cents, and it skyrocketed. I mean, it's still up 2x even through this FUD. So, despite the fact that this thing has been absolutely destroyed, it's still up a lot. And you could have easily had 2x, taken profit on this, and then never worried about your Shrapnel bag for the rest of eternity. Crypto gaming tokens are highly speculative. A lot of these individual gaming studios are a crazy, crazy risk to take. But if you don't have any risk because you took for 50% of the profit, when it ended up 2xing and then you rolled over some of those profits into other parts of the ecosystem, a good example, if we're talking about Shrapnel, would be the Shrapnel Operators Collection, which right now have a floor price of 0.23 Ethereum. I still think, in my opinion, this is undervalued. I bought this yesterday at around the 0.18 ETH mark. I still think these are crazy. I rolled in some of my Shrapnel profit into buying Shrapnel Operators. So that is an exact, example of me doing exactly what I'm saying right now, which I went ahead, grabbed Shrapnel, took profit in half my bag after a 2x when we got in at 10 cents at launch. And then I bought Operators, which Operators, they're not even that much. They're like $466. So you could have done it. You called those at 18 cents? Yeah, of course I called those at 18 cents when we made the video, but we've been making a lot of videos. When you're in tune with the space, you get to get things way earlier than other people. Would you rather buy a Myria node or playable node if you had the money to grab one? That is a very easy question to answer. And here's how I'm going to answer it. I'm going to look at the distribution. Obviously, this is not exact, but this was from, like 3 days ago. So you get 1,263 playable tokens every single day. So let's go ahead, go into playable. Let's look up 1,263. So let's put 1,263 right here. It's going to give us a number. So you make $9.24 every single day off of a playable node. Right now, playable nodes are going for $5,500. So you grab a calculator, you take, $5,500, you divide it by 9.24, and it takes right now 595 days to get your ROI on the playable nodes that are out there for the market right now. Versus Myria, and by the way, the market cap for this thing is somewhere around 50 million. The market cap of Myria is almost double, so the math should kind of add up. I know Myria nodes are going for somewhere around 4,150 last time I checked. I think that's how much they're going for. So we grab the amount of tokens, which is 1,716, which is $18.42, right? So let's put 4,150 divided by 18.42. And then that gives you 225 days for ROI. So clearly right now, Myria nodes are a better purchase in terms of current pricing. What's going to end up running? Well, that's a good question. Myria has a lot of projects, a lot of indie projects on there. They also have a lot of backing. I mean, Alex Becker is backing them as well as most of the crypto gaming space wants to see Myria run. Clearly, that's why Myria is hitting new all-time highs. Playable's also hitting new all-time highs. I've gotten to the point where I've owned both tokens. I've taken profit on both tokens. I own nodes on both tokens, so I don't have to worry about that. But if you're worrying about it, then I would probably say, honestly, follow this rule. Don't buy nodes on either of them. Buy tokens, roll over those profits into nodes, because I think there's a lot more upside on tokens rather than nodes, and then worry about nodes. When the ROI starts to get under a year, it's very attractive. So Myria nodes right now are probably selling like hotcakes. Whenever it's less than 365 days, it is juicy to get into nodes. However, if we think that Myria is going to 2x in price, why would you buy a node? You should probably just own the token. So when the upside starts to get a little bit slower, when the mini bull starts to slow down and people are like kind of getting out of there, take some profit, throw it into those Myria nodes, and then worry about it later. And then maybe at some point when Myria ends up developing these games and they come out and they have a ton of NFTs, roll over some of those profits into NFTs. And there you go. You've got a comprehensive strategy that covers every sector of crypto gaming tokens that you would have to worry about. Doesn't matter about tokenomics, doesn't matter about anything. And it secures you for the next bull cycle because Myria nodes will keep producing no matter what. Even if this token goes down 90%, it won't matter because you will still be making something out of it. So it's something to look into for sure. On hotcakes, the ROI on hotcakes is crazy. I love hotcakes and poop. He loves poop. I know Myria will have a halving in 2.5 years. So yeah, halvings are a thing to worry about, but it's just something that's like, by the time we get to those halvings, it's not going to really matter per se. You know, like when 𝐒𝐤 was worrying about their halvings back in the day and everybody was like, oh, these are going to zero and there's no point in owning them. That year that people had nodes, I will tell you that the people that made the most money on 𝐒𝐤 were the people that had founders notes. Because the people that bought the tokens, even if the token went up 100x or 150x or something insane, and they were held the entire way through because they're just legends of the crypto space, they probably held it all the way back down. Human psychology suggests that the average person is not able to hold something long term. That's why retail investors usually underperform the market, because when they have something that wins, they don't let it run. And if they let it run, they don't know when to sell. So it goes right back to where it is. Nodes is like, it's like the foolproof way of getting into something, not really having to worry or understand how exactly it works. As long as you made your profit, you got into your nodes, and I don't need to think about the rest of my life. It's as simple as that. If we're live on Ethereum networks, how do we buy playable? Very simple, very simple. So if you're on the Ethereum network, first off, I don't think you can buy playable because playable right now is on the Avalanche chain, which means that you either need to buy it on Trader Joe, which is a decentralized exchange on Avalanche, or you're going to need to bite the bullet and go on MEXC. Those are pretty much your options right now. I just did that, right? So you have to stomach the bullet, buy it where it needs to be bought because it's not on Ethereum right now. And this is a problem. I was actually on Gorilla's show. He's another content creator, love him. And he asked me the question on where people will be building games out over the next crypto gaming bull cycle. And I suggested that, you know, these crypto gaming ecosystems that are developing their own blockchains, I love them. But majority of games will not build on your chain because first off, you're too new of a project, you're too much of a risk, you're not a legacy coin, and maybe your blockchain isn't scalable to the point where some of these games need them to be scaled to. So most people will probably go to things like IMX or Ronin or Ethereum, things people already understand and are already probably using because of that. Like buying playable for a lot of people is confusing, which could be a reason for why it's at a low market cap. Because while Avalanche is awesome and there was a huge narrative on Avalanche, being valued at a $50 million market cap, I still think is absurd. Like, I think most of these crypto gaming projects, I saw them back in 2021. I know what a real bull cycle feels like. I've been a part of it and I've traded them all sorts of gains. If I did this, I would have been a millionaire. You know, like if I did exactly what I am going to be doing this bull cycle, I would have made a ridiculous amount of money on crypto gaming altcoins. Instead, I focused on the more speculative things that I didn't understand too well. I was going off on meme coins. I was going off on layer one narratives all over the place and different random altcoins that were trying to differ on Telegram bots, etc., and it just didn't work out for me. So instead, I'm focusing on one sector for the most part. I'm allocating 50% of my portfolio into the safe things, which I've already done. I mean, I've already owned Ethereum at $800 and I've DCA'd all the way up to $2,000. I'm still putting money into Ethereum and Bitcoin. That's just something that makes sense to me. It's not really a high risk in my humble opinion, you know, in my mindset. Like, the risk of me being in the stock market feels like more of a risk than actually being on Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's gotten to that point for me. And clearly the returns have kind of shown them. I feel a lot more comfortable holding Bitcoin and Ethereum. And then the other 50% is highly speculative. That thing could go straight to zero tomorrow and it would suck. It would 100% suck. Good thing for me though is I own a lot of nodes. So no matter what, I should be properly allocated no matter what happens, because we've already had a little bit of a mini bull cycle in crypto gaming. It's already happened. You know, playable nodes a month ago were worth $2,200 each. Now they're worth $5,500. If you got in at $2,200 when we were talking about them a lot and they were going up like crazy, your ROI would be less than half a year. It would be like tomorrow practically. So these opportunities are going to pop up all over the place. I still think people are sleeping on the NFT space. You don't have to allocate a lot of money into NFT whitelist. What a lot of the time it is it's really opportunity cost. It's just the time that you need to invest into it. If you have a lot of time, then the NFT space is highly lucrative and will net a lot of return for a lot of people in crypto gaming specifically, because crypto gaming NFTs haven't really come out en masse. They've been teased to be a main utility point for crypto gaming, that you could buy and sell assets in, you know, a marketplace that is within the game and it's seamless, all that stuff. But for the most part, crypto gaming NFTs don't really exist. What you have is like maybe like shrapnel operators, which it's cool and all, but they're probably going to release way more NFTs in the future for way more different narratives. I mean, a good one a month ago was Big Time. Big Time absolutely moon rocketed. I mean, you can see over here, we took a good amount of profit, you know, on our Big Time as well. These things, I mean, the time wardens, which are the main way to actually earn in the game, because you can make hourglasses, which you can play to earn the Big Time token. You can see some of the Big Time tokens, etc. These things were going for like $100 to $200 on launch, but people were saying that they were overvalued because these used to sell for like $10 to $40 at some point. It doesn't matter if it 10x's, if it is still worth it and the ROI is still absurdly low, people will buy this thing up. So it's worth $600 now. It was even higher at some point. It's already had its correction. I sold my Stellar Time Warden for over $2,000. It's $1,680, but when I first got it, it was way less than $1,000. So you need to find these opportunities that are early and you think you can get some arbitrage opportunity to be able to have crazy access and then be able to actually legitimately have a cause to think that you can maybe turn a $10,000 portfolio into $1 million. You probably won't. Most people will not. It's just the truth of the matter. But you can sure as hell try, you're right? You can sure as hell try. And if you put the time into it, not a lot of people are into actually learning crypto. It's a complicated piece of tech. Most people will just buy something that their friend told them to buy, hold it for the rest of eternity, and, you know, it is what it is at the end of the day. Hopefully they take profit at the right time. Maybe some will get lucky, maybe some will not. If you're taking more calculated decisions to actually be a part of the industry and really get in there and network and make sure that you're on top of trends in your specific niche, you're going to make a hell of a lot of more money than anything in between. It's very important. All right, let's read some comments over here. How you doing, the old gamer? I love this guy. I used to play Spider Tanks with him all the time. I mean, Bitcoin mining has like a 1-year ROI in Argentina. Why would you buy some mini token node instead of that? Well, the reason is because that mini token node might have an even crazier ROI, right? And that keeps going. That keeps going. Bitcoin, you know, it's a little bit iffy sometimes. I actually have a mining rig. I'm going to show you guys my mining rig maybe next stream, because I've got a little bit of a mining rig for Bitcoin. Graphics cards, hey, they got a lot cheaper. And electricity, if you know how to do it, then it kind of works out. For most people, it won't make sense, though. Do you always take out 50% after your token does a 2x? No. It depends. If there's a heck of a lot of momentum and it's a small market cap, I usually will just risk it and then wait for like a 5 to 10x. For example, you know, with Playable, I didn't take a 2x profit. I waited until this thing ran up until pretty much now, actually. Like, I took profit around the 6 to 7s. I also took some profits at the 3s. So I took some profit at a 3x to get my initial out. I also took some profit at the 7s to go ahead and take some more profit out. Also got a node because of that. And I still have a lot of Playable, to be honest with you. So I'm just holding it out to see what happens for the most part. You don't want to take everything out. That would be ridiculous. You're missing out on a ridiculous amount of profit in a crypto bull cycle. But you want to take out enough so that when you look at the amount that you have there, you are not stressing out. Because your biggest battle this bull cycle, people say it all the time, but it's true. It really is true. I felt it a lot in the bull cycle, is stress. The stress that you have of owning something that is just too much of a risk for you to be comfortable with will overwhelm you. And you will paper hand. It's just what happens. You'll see it go down $10,000. You have 100K in there and you're like, wait, my net worth is only 200K. Or maybe it's not. Maybe it's 150K. You're freaking out because there goes like 10 to 30% of your entire net worth in minutes. You're going to take profit. It's just what happens. It's normal. So I'd rather you go ahead and be like, okay, I put in 10K here. It goes up 2 to 5x. I took my initial out. And then I could just throw it into my MetaMask and not worry about it for the next 3 decades. Hopefully, right? Or as long as you need to worry about it. Your video was good on Alex Becker's top recent selections. Yeah, Alex Becker. So the first video he did, I thought Alex Becker had pretty terrible recommendations in terms of what he was looking at on crypto gaming altcoins. He had this big narrative where, the reason people were getting into things like Illuvium was because of the fact that it was an old coin and there was going to be like a trend, right? Where people were going to get into old coins after the crypto gaming bull cycle starts again. I don't agree with that at all. There's plenty of things that were pretty incredible at some point. Like for example, like Engine Coin. I get it. There's a lot of building on Engine Coin, and I'm not like dunking on Engine Coin at all. I'm sure it's going to be a great narrative at some point when it builds out whatever it's building. But I don't really own Engine Coin. This month it went up 8%. And over the past year, it's gone up, I don't know, maybe 50% from its lows, 50%, which is severely underperforming in the overall grand scheme of things. What matters is if it's a legacy blockchain that is building awesome stuff. If it is a really genuine good project, then it's going to have a massive run. Illuvium, for example, had 119% this month. So I was a little bit conflicted on that part in terms of his logic. I don't roast it though, because it's like saying, for example, like, oh, you're never going to get rich off of Bitcoin and Ethereum, which is true. If you're putting 10K into it, you're not getting rich with Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's the sad truth of it all. So it's probably going to be the same case with things like Illuvium and Engine Coin. Those are going to be severely underperforming the markets. If you want to take less risk, I guess, right? You've got that option for you. But if you're actually looking for serious gains, then you've got to take a little bit more risk. If we're in crypto gaming, if we are already in a highly, highly, highly speculative industry, why wouldn't you take on more risk? Obviously, you shouldn't be putting in everything on there. That's ridiculous. You're going to go bankrupt. But if you're already in a highly speculative industry and you have a lot of conviction in it, and there's a lot of undervalued plays that have been ignored for a very long time, why wouldn't you speculate into these things? That's kind of my mindset on it all. We're going to dump so hard. I would urge buyers to wait. This little Green Day looking dude has his bags all packed. Green Day, I love it. I'm going to start rocking out right here. Yeah, I do have some bags packed. Absolutely. I've been here since the beginning of this bear cycle. Like, I've been through this entire thing. Obviously, I already have my bags packed. If you guys decided to ignore Bitcoin and you had no conviction in it, I just feel bad for you because you could have bought things at severely lower prices. We had a good, year of terrible price action. You had so much time to get into this. But a lot of people missed it because people were ignoring it. They didn't believe in it. They listened to the mainstream media. And all of a sudden, the mainstream media is talking about crypto again. So a lot of people are looking into crypto. And, some people are expecting a 32, 34K correction on Bitcoin. I don't even know if we're getting that. We could get it, absolutely, and either way, I'll be ready, which is why I always tell people to practice taking profits. Taking profits is very important. You're going to get wrecked if you do not have taking profits in the back of your head. But this entire cycle, people didn't expect Bitcoin to get this high, this fast, at all. People thought we would still be at the 20K range, and no one would be talking about crypto gaming, and we would still be in the gulag. We're not there anymore. It's 37.7 thousand. Maybe people need to start waking up on the fact that this is actually happening, that there is something here, that, yeah, a correction is likely, sure, and maybe altcoins will correct 30, 50%, but this cycle is happening. Exactly 6 years ago, look at this. I'll read it off this guy. Bitcoin surpassed 10,000 and had everyone in shock. Now, Bitcoin trades at $38,000, and people say it's dead. It's just outperforming any other market right now. And people are still doubting it. It's insane. I talk to people in my daily life that they randomly message me. This has happened over the past month or two. And they're like, how in the world did Bitcoin get this high? I paper handed at $16,000-$17,000 and it just kept going up. I thought Bitcoin was dead. I thought everybody was saying it was dead. Oh no, it is alive. It is alive and well, my friends. Very, very much alive and well. The grandfather of Immutable. Look at this. Look at the market cap on this thing. The grand recovery of market caps on this industry. It is getting up. It's getting up there. I made the mistake of getting my profits from 6 to 120K the last cycle and hold it at 15. It'd be like that. Can you do a show on just gaming microcaps? No. I don't think I can. The thing is, if I talk about microcaps and you guys are probably going to buy them and then artificially pump them up, I'm not sure if it's the most ethical thing in the world. There are plays, I'll tell you right now, there's plenty of plays that I own in my portfolio right now that are very low market cap, like $1 million to $5 million, or maybe even less. Some of them are sub 1 million. There's no universe I'd be talking about it here because I know for a fact I would artificially be pumping that, and it's not a good idea at all. No. Even if I tell people not to buy them, they will buy them. It's just how the world works, right? If the guy talks about it, it is what it is. That's why I have to talk about things that are already pumped up at, $1.6 billion market cap. Because I know for a fact covering this thing is not going to produce a, $1.5 billion pump. And if it does, geez, I'm severely underselling myself. And degens will degen. Alex Becker talked about, it was this project called oh God, I'm about to do it again, aren't I? It was called Card Starter. And terrible project. I think it sucks. It's practically a rug. And the second he mentioned it, it went up so much for no reason. We're from 8 cents to 30 cents for zero reason. And now it's back to 18. This thing's gonna die, whatever. It's a trash project, right? On Ethereum too. This is amazing. I love that. Don't buy coins people are talking about. Please do your own research. Please do not buy the things I'm talking about. The education is all that matters. If you can take the practices of that I've done to be successful already, and you practice it in your own way, it doesn't have to be Myria. It doesn't have to be GameStop. It doesn't have to be Playable. It doesn't have to be any of the projects. You can think all these projects are trash, but if you use the fundamental analysis that I do when I'm thinking into getting into these plays with some of those smaller market cap things, then you're going to be successful. Then it's going to work out because it's already worked out for me. I'm already bagged. I'm already packed. Wherever this industry goes, I'm going to be ready. Obviously, I'm going to be continuing to look into more and more plays because, sensibly speaking, I'm a greedy little guy in crypto gaming, and I understand the industry very well. I'm constantly talking to people. I mean, I talked to Shrapnel literally yesterday about the things that they're building. I'm super excited for that stuff. But I'm also not dumb. I'm also not that type of guy that's going to be this industry guaranteed is going to go up 100x or 50x. Get in now before you miss out. It's no. I'm well aware that this might not work out, and that's part of the risk we're getting into. Do I have a Gala founders node? No, I don't, unfortunately. There is this common myth in the Gala community where people think I have a founders node. No, I don't. I actually started covering Gala after the whole founders node pump and the craziness that happened. I genuinely like the games Gala's building out. This might be a hot take. I like playing Gala. I like playing the games in their ecosystem. Is Gala my biggest bag? No, it's not even close to being my biggest bag. Do I make a lot of money covering Gala? No, I mean, Gala is literally the thing I make the least money covering. But I genuinely like being a part of their community. I like talking to the people over at Gala. I like talking to Jason. I genuinely enjoy being a part of it. So I'm more than happy to cover it. Even if I'm not really getting paid anything. So it is what it is. Or the token appreciating like crazy. Sometimes you've got to have those plays where you'll know people and you'll learn about specific things. I mean, there's been plenty of Gala OGs that have reached out to me about plays. A good example of this is Playable. I had Playable nowhere near my radar. I was ignoring Playable for the longest of time. And then a Gala OG came up to me, a whale with a bunch of founders notes. He was like, dude, this ecosystem is building something cool. You should probably check this out. And I was like, I don't know, maybe I will, maybe I won't. I did more due diligence and clearly it was worth it. It went up a lot. It's a great example of that. So it's good to be in tune with these communities because they could provide a lot more value than the token is really worth. And, you can have the conversation that, things like 𝐒𝐿, which I'm regretting not buying. Okay, I don't want to hear a single person peep about 𝐒𝐿 citizens and how they went up like crazy and how everybody's freaking out and all these different things. I don't want to hear it because this thing pumped up so much. Look at this. Stupid identity. 14 ETH. Okay, wait, this is the wrong thing. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm terrible right now. What is going on with these characters? Did they change them? What is going on with 𝐒𝐞𝐽? Am I looking at the wrong thing? I feel like I am. Whatever. Anyway, so they pumped up to like 16 ETH or something like that. And they went absolutely parabolic. And I didn't end up buying it, but I see the value in it. Like if you're a founder and you're trying to network with people and, I guess you need to buy into a community to do it, then go for it. I personally could probably just message someone and be perfectly fine there, but there is a lot of value to be had there, especially if you're like a launchpad or something like that. Is it 𝐒𝐞𝐽 like 200,000 per NFT? No. At some point it was like maybe like $14,000, $15,000, and then nowadays it's like $30,000 to $40,000, something like that. Is the last time I checked, it was like 18 ETH. They went down a lot to the S1s. The Outer Citizens are much cheaper. They're like $6,000, $5,000 to $6,000, something like that. Last time I checked them. But yeah, no, like if you find the value in those ecosystems, absolutely get into them. You don't need to get into something that will, 100x tomorrow or go up like crazy or all these different things. Practicing keeping a level head is the most important thing this bull cycle, because of the fact that you need to survive. You need to survive. The hardest part of crypto is surviving. Many people will leverage trade. I do not advocate leverage trading at all. I've been offered tens of thousands of dollars to literally use platforms that leverage trade. Simple as that. Copy trading and all these different things. I would, first off, never advocate for someone to copy trade me. They could, I guess, right? You could probably look for my wallets if you look deep enough. But I wouldn't advocate for that, because I want people to do their own research. I want people to do their own investing. Like there's so many different things that are happening within our space at any given time that even if you don't get into the things that I'm getting into, you will find opportunities within the market. And if you're doing proper allocation, if you're doing proper risk management with your allocations in the cryptocurrency space, you will make life-changing wealth. It's as simple as that. I don't think this is going to repeat itself. I'm pretty sure once this crypto gaming bull run happens, that's kind of gonna be it, unfortunately for us. Yeah, others are like 2.9 ETH. Exactly. They're pretty up there. But it is what it is. How come you aren't buying into the Army of Fortune token that is already on ARB? It's the in-game currency for their metaverse. They're creating like Alice and the Star Alice. So Army of Fortune, I really liked the idea of, also, I don't know if their tokens are. I haven't looked into that, but I do know about their Fortune keys, Army of Fortune keys. Those went out, and the airdrop that is going to happen on those is going to be pretty astronomical. I think the play there is the NFTs rather than the token itself. So I'm definitely looking into a correction. There's a lot of like blur farmers that hold a lot of keys on those founders keys because they're trying to farm points based off the volume there right now. If we get to that point though, where it corrects enough to make sense, like 0.4, 0.3 ETH, maybe 0.5, I'll look into like grabbing one of them or something. Then yeah, I'm gonna get into the NFTs. I think the NFTs are better than the token right now, especially when it launches. 𝐻G's out in December, it's the governance token. Exactly. That's what it is. There's a lot of talk surrounding Katana Inu. So Katana, it pumped a lot. I remember seeing Katana. I faded Katana. I spoke with the Katana Inu team a long time ago, and they kind of went up. They went burr. It went from the 3s all the way to the 10s. It did a 3x. Is it the most incredible return in the world? No, it wasn't. It definitely didn't like shock anybody. It was worth $20 million. So it having a heartbeat pumped this thing, right? Now, do I own it? No, I don't own it right now. So I'm just trying to see what ends up happening there. I feel like I want to wait for more development there. I'm okay with buying at a higher market cap. I'm not scared of buying tokens at $50, $100 million valuations if it could still go up 5 to 10x. I would rather be late than sorry at this point. So, why you can get into things early. Sometimes it's good to exercise caution, especially when the markets have run up as much as they've run up. They will probably have a correction, which is why like doing this right now might not make too much sense. It might make sense long-term, but starting to size in, starting to explore what's going on in these ecosystems and the opportunities that they're giving to people for being in them and why people should hold them is way more important than throwing all your money into crypto gaming right now. I think you have plenty of time. Some people say that you only have like a month left or you got like 6 months left in crypto gaming and then nothing's ever going to happen again. I'm pretty sure we're going to have some sort of correction. It's going to be like 30 to 50% on most tokens. And then we're going to have another crypto gaming bull run, like the actual one. There's multiple cycles, right? Inside of a super cycle. And there's a crypto gaming altcoin season. We haven't even entered altcoin season. We're nowhere near altcoin season. Crypto gaming has been leading the bull cycle for now. I guess you could call that a mini bull cycle. It's been like a month. We're barely in this right now. So exercising caution, doing your research right now while things are coming out. People are throwing money at the wall in terms of projects, trying to raise money right now. People are raising money like crazy, millions upon millions of dollars, because they understand this is a mini bull cycle, but they also understand this might not last forever. So they want to go ahead and do it right now before we have those corrections. There's a lot of money being raised. There's a lot of opportunity there, but a lot of it feels short-term. It feels a little bit artificial and inflated. So when I'm looking into size into more of my fiat into these crypto gaming plays, because I do have fiat on the sidelines, like I don't have all of my bags packed. There's plenty of crypto coins that will be coming out over the next year that I don't even know exist right now, that will just randomly pop up out of nowhere, stealth launch. So I'm waiting for that to happen. I have a lot of capital in the sideline for that specifically. In terms of the plays right now, for the most part, I'm not really buying anything because I don't need to buy anything. I've already positioned myself in these plays. I bought an NFT, like I bought the shrapnel operators, right? Because I don't have a lot of allocation into NFTs. I've been ignoring NFTs because I've been following my plan. I've been getting into tokens. I've been taking profit onto tokens. I've been buying nodes. I already did that. So now I'm in the NFT part. So I'm going to buy these NFTs to go ahead and get whitelist allocations and then get more value off of token airdrops, which will lead into the cycle again. So I get NFT, take token airdrops, go into tokens, go into nodes, NFTs, tokens, over and over until the bull cycle ends. And then I take a heck of a lot more profit. That's the idea. Obviously, this take 10% into fiat is right now. Long term, this is going to become a much higher number. At some point, like, for example, mid next year, I'm going to start taking a lot of profit. I'm going to be aggressively selling all of my gaming altcoins. I'm not going to be holding these until 2026. It just doesn't make any sense for me. So once we get into like mid 2024, late 2024, for the most part, most of my portfolio will probably be either a combination of nodes and NFTs, and then maybe a little bit of tokens, and then a heck of a lot of fiat. That's probably going to be like most of it. It's going to be a bunch of stable coins because I want to go ahead and make sure that while I might not time the top, I'm going to get a comfortable allocation of fiat so I can turn it into anything in the future. Maybe I want to make my own company in crypto gaming or something. So I want to make sure that I take profits so that I take full advantage of this crypto gaming bull market. I'm not going to get the top. After we have 3 to 4 major corrections in Bitcoin, that's probably it. It is what it is. I might miss it, but if I'm safer, then I know for a fact I'm going to take a lot of profit, because last bull cycle, I made a ridiculous amount of money, but I also left a lot of money on the table because I decided not to take profit. So this time around, I want to make sure I'm more conservative, because if I'm more conservative, I will actually take profit on it. You might not make that full $1 million, but if I make 300K off of 10K, I will be really happy with my gains. You think My Pet Hooligan is a good NFT to get into? I like My Pet Hooligan because you go ahead and accrue the little, what is it? The carrot token. Carrot token is going to be a narrative. I know Crypto Stash is really bullish on My Pet Hooligan. We can actually go ahead and look at their NFTs. So My Pet Hooligan, those NFTs have held up really well, incredibly well. I mean, look at this. They've been holding this value for the longest. This is their entire history. This is from January 2022 until now. They've been holding really well, and they're still selling quite often. I'm pretty sure the carrot token, leading into Q1 2024 is going to do pretty well. My Pet Hooligan, some people say it's a liar asset flip, people that hate NFTs. It's an opportunity, though. I don't currently own a Hoolie, right, as they call it here, Hooligan. But yeah, probably into December, late December, when they actually start announcing their token drop, I'll see how many people are excited for it. I'll see what exactly the details are on this token airdrop, if it ends up happening. If it doesn't end up happening and they're just launching the token, and then the people that have the carrot token staked end up taking profit on it, it is what it is. That's probably going to be the case. But yeah, no, 100% I'm looking into hooligans for long term. The thing is, like, if hooligans go up 2x from where they are now, which is entirely reasonable, that's just a 2x. Gala has done a 2x. So, I mean, the only reason you would really get into an NFT is if you found value in using the NFT in the game, in having this little carrot token that could possibly go up a lot. But the thing is, like, you would have already wanted to own this for quite some time. If you buy it now and you stake it, sure, like, it's kind of like getting a node, right? You want to go ahead and get into the token first so that you could get the nodes later. And I would see these little hooligans Not really like nodes, obviously very different, but I mean like the NFT sector, right? You want to get the token first, and then you want to roll over the profits into NFTs at some point. So these are something that are more of an afterthought than something that I would immediately just go ahead and be like, oh, I'm going to ape into this immediately. But I love my pet hooligan. I love this game. I think the team is really kind. I actually have like a classy my pet hooligan shirt in my closet right now. So yeah, they're very nice people, but you know, it's something that's more of an afterthought for sure. How do you determine the value of the NFTs though? Well, it's very easy. For example, you know, you could look at how many of these little carrot tokens, these things accrue every single day. You can also look into the game, the IP, how many millions have they raised? Are they going to be, you know, developing a product that comes out? Some of those details for me are a little bit iffy with my pet hooligan, but for something like Shrapnel, I would understand it a little bit more. You know, Shrapnel went ahead and went live. People got tons of Shrapnel tokens for holding the Shrapnel operators, and they ended up making a good profit off of them. That's why the Shrapnel operators ended up going up as much as they went up. So I would say once we get details, once it makes a lot more sense, then you could put some of that fundamental analysis on there to actually, you know, deduce whether or not something is worth holding. That's the problem with most NFTs though. You don't really know how much they're worth, which is where the whole speculation thing comes in. That's why I'm not too big into NFTs. I'm big into NFTs early on though. I'm big into NFTs. Like when they launch, you have, well, in a bear market, you have like a 0% chance of making profit. In a mini bull cycle though, like it becomes real. You can actually make some pretty absurd profit because most of these guys are launching something. If you're launching something, then the likelihood is that they've already raised millions of dollars. They've already secured the market makers to, you know, launch whatever it is. And they're launching at a very low market cap with probably a really crazy fully diluted value. That's most of these projects. And they do this on purpose because they want to launch at a low enough market cap so that whatever it is pumps. And when it pumps, it secures the value of the NFTs and it makes them look a lot more attractive, which makes them sell them. And then they get the creator earnings. They keep raising money. And it's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy for crypto gaming. That's how most of these crypto gaming things operate. If you're taking anything from this conversation, take that last part that I just talked about, because that's what mostly happens in this space. So they will make sure that they launch at a low enough market cap to make sense. Obviously, the people that are in the VCs and the private sales, you need to make sure that they cannot take their profits immediately on TGE, because if they can, then you're going to get something that looks a lot like Myria, where people would have like gotten in and then the node sellers were just selling over and over and over, and it went down for the longest of time, but then eventually it went back up. But if we really think about it, like if you just held from TGE, you would be up maybe like 26%. It's nothing really to be excited about. But if you just waited a little bit on this VC heavy front loaded token, you could have gotten a 10x play just like that. Obviously, you probably wouldn't have timed it well. You would have waited for the first pump, maybe until like the 3s or something like that. But you still would have gotten a 3x there, 3 to 4x. So that's how I deduce whether or not an NFT is worth it. It's why I don't own a lot of NFTs, because I like to be late rather than early. Unless it's something that hasn't even launched yet, then obviously there's the opportunity there to get whitelist spots and to be able to, you know, get into some of these IDOs, etc., for tokens that are developing NFTs. But as it stands, I still think we're early enough in the NFT space where there's a good amount of projects that probably won't do anything. So you don't just want to buy them. You want to be patient with it. That's why it's always the last thing I look at. But, you know, the good reason for that is because it's the most speculative. Tokens are not as speculative as NFTs. NFTs are the most speculative of them all. They have the least liquidity on them, and they also have the least volume on them. They also have, like, there's so many different things to look at in terms of NFTs and what they're trying to do and whether or not a community is worth it or not. You don't need to care about that. If the fundamentals are sound on a token and it's undervalued, it's undervalued. People will be able to buy and sell these tokens no matter what. People were telling me, you can't sell $10,000 worth of playable on the market. It's only worth $50 million. And I go, yeah, I can. I've already done it. You know what I mean? Like, I love the token, but, you know, you can take profit on these things if you do it smarter. If you don't just dump it all into the market, that's amazing. NFTs, different story. Unless it has a ton of hype and it's very liquid, which is usually, I would say, 90% or more of an NFT's life will be spent in an illiquid market that is incredibly difficult to take profit on. Maybe 10% of it is. If it starts getting a bunch of hype because it's doing something amazing, it's going to have a bunch of liquidity. You're going to be able to sell anything. It's just not the case. Tokens, no matter what, even if that thing is like dumping to oblivion, it's going to have liquidity in it. You're going to be able to take profit on it. Unless it literally goes to zero on rugs, which, I mean, at that point, it's like an NFT project rugging. So the risk is pretty much the same. But I see tokens as much less risk than NFTs at the moment. Seems like you definitely do some damage with NFTs in gaming if you have a compelling game idea. I'm sure, you know, by the end of it all, I'm actually advising for multiple projects right now as we speak. I'll likely be announcing some of these, you know, leading into 2024. I know how marketing works. I understand this space. I've been doing it for over 2 years. People go, oh, but you've only spent 2 years in crypto. And I go, sure, you could argue that all day. You've been here since 2017. But have you spent literally every single day talking to CEOs and top founders and KOLs and whales and all these different people and constantly iterating on content and marketing and learning new skills, etc.? I'm like, probably not. Most people just bought in 2017 and they held till now and they learned, right? But it's my life. Like, I understand. I've talked to people from 2017 extensively and people from 2014. So, yeah, definitely, like, I would say this process makes a lot of sense. This process doesn't have a lot of risk. This process is it. You got featured on Altcoin Daily. I did. I saw that. That was so cool. Let me actually go ahead and shout out Altcoin Daily. I know he's a bigger channel. It is what it is. Whatever. But I love this guy. Look, he actually ended up doing a sponsored video on playable games. Yeah, I'm not sure what exactly the whole sponsorship is. I saw the hashtag ad, so I assumed it was. But look, it's over here. You know, when we covered Nexus, and this was, by the way, when we covered Nexus, the price of playable was at sub 10 million market cap. It was very low market cap. We covered this thing. We had a lot of fun. Look at this. Look at this.
Gaming YouTubers talk about it and play the game. Check out just 60 seconds here of this streamer enjoying himself playing the game.
How y'all doing? Hope you're all having a wonderful day. We're going to be playing some playable games. Why is it cutting out? Nexus today. This is a brand new, emerging Play To Earn NFT game. Of course, it's all some new stuff. And obviously, there are stakes, because if we win, we will be receiving the illustrious, check this out right here, playable Mantis. Okay, some people will ask me, did I actually get this NFT? Did I actually get this Mantis NFT? I will show you proof that I actually got the Mantis NFT, because a lot of people were going off and they're like, oh, can you actually earn something off this? Are there actual competitions? Did they actually do what they said they were going to do? Okay, check this out. Huh? Ain't she a beauty? What's good, Smiley? Ain't she a beauty? Hell yeah, she's a beauty. But yeah, no, we got Smiling here. We got all kinds of guys. We're on Altcoin Daily. 1.35 million subs. Yeah, we're moving up in the world. We're almost at, look at this. We're almost, right now, look at the subs increasing. We're almost at 20,000 subscribers. This is amazing. You know, we're going all in on crypto gaming and doing everything in between. So that's pretty much gonna be the stream, guys. I'm so excited to be making content for y'all. I've been on overdrive lately, just making it happen, talking to the founders, bringing you guys value. We've already gotten 10x plays during this bear cycle, and it has happened over the past month alone. I am so excited to continue to bring these plays. If you enjoy the content, don't miss out on the alpha. Smiling if you're still here. We are going to have Bitbender Brink, Jason Brink, tomorrow on this channel. We're going to be asking him all the burning questions in the Gala Games ecosystem, one of the top and the top node ecosystem in the entire crypto gaming space, which y'all know I absolutely love. So I hope you enjoy this. Is there 20 million subs? We'll get there. We'll get there one day. But until the next time, I'll see y'all later. Stay classy. I'm going to have a video later today. And that's all. I love you guys. I love you guys. Just subscribe.